issue here. You are coming and complaining. We will accept the complaint.
Okay, never mind. We don't want to waste time.
Yes, yes.
We will hand over the document to you. Where's the mother?
Yes, yes.
So
she's the complainant.
Yeah. Complainant.
Okay.
Thank
you. நம்ம வந்து நிதானமா பேசணும். We should be very fair. We are doing a duty. உங்களுக்கு ஒரு கடமை இருக்கு.
Okay, Mr. Kopal, let me explain to you. This is a complaint regarding the death in custody of my client, Mr. Indra, her son Kugan. She says that her son was beaten to death by the police in police custody, and Hospital Serdang and the pathologist came up with one post-mortem report. MMC came up with the second one. She found that there are vast differences between the two. So then now we want MMC to investigate whether there was any misconduct involved in this case. Okay. We expect MMC to act independently of the Health Ministry, because Health Ministry is already trying to cover up the matter. Tansri Ismail American came and improperly said, okay, that the first report was fine even though he had not done an investigation. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Kopal. Thank you very much. Today we have submitted an official complaint to the Malaysian Medical Council for an investigation into possible misconduct by the first pathologist who prepared the first post-mortem into Kugan, and also against the Serdang Hospital, right? And it was accepted by C. Perumal, who is the legal advisor of the MMC. The reason that we have lodged this, or rather the mother has lodged this complaint, I will not go into the details of the complaint because it's not fair to the doctor. The complaint has not been investigated. I think to be fair to the doctor, we will not go into details of what we have mentioned in the complaint. Safe to say that we would like an investigation, an independent investigation into the circumstances surrounding the first post-mortem and why there are so many discrepancies between the first post-mortem report by Serdang Hospital and the second post-mortem report by UH, and we have asked that the MMC investigate whether there was any misconduct by the first hospital or the first pathologist. These are the things we want the MMC to do. We have come to the MMC because MMC is the body which regulates doctors. MMC has the power to strike off a doctor from the registrar, from the role of doctors if there is found to be any misconduct or misbehavior, or if there is a failure to adhere to the highest standards of medical professionalism. We also want the MMC to look into the behavior and conduct of Serdang Hospital. Okay, because Serdang Hospital was where this incident happened. Serdang Hospital had control of the events, and serious questions now exist regarding the professionalism of Serdang Hospital itself. In particular, I think we have mentioned this before, we are very disappointed with the attitude of the director of Serdang Hospital, Dr. Muhammad Norzi, who came out and claimed baselessly that the body was tampered with. We are also shocked and disappointed, as we mentioned earlier, by the Director General of the Health Ministry, Tansri Ismail American, who came up, claimed that he is going to hold an independent inquiry, but also in the same breath said that the first post-mortem was done properly and there were inaccuracies in the second post-mortem. This without even doing an investigation. Okay? Now, we are further disappointed. Yesterday the Health Minister, Datuk Liao, had a press conference in which he claimed, or rather he announced, that a secret committee of 6 people, if I'm not mistaken 6 people, a secret committee has been formed in order to probe the circumstances surrounding these 2 post-mortem reports. After the Health Ministry DG Tansri Ismail has already come out, even before there's an investigation, claiming that the first report is perfectly fine, we don't see how we can have any confidence in any probe by the Health Ministry. This is compounded by the fact that for some reason the composition of the second committee, the members of this so-called second committee, in such a high-profile case like this, are secret. He has said that he will not tell the public who these members of the sixth committee are. So for all we know, the director of special branch is one of the members. For all we know, Tansri Ismail American is one of the members. So how is the public going to have confidence if we cannot even know who are these members of the secret committee? In this day and age in this country, we should be talking about transparency, accountability. if you want the public to have confidence in your investigation, you should let us know not only who are the members of the committee, but what are the parameters of the committee. What are their powers? What is their purview? What is their ambit? What are their objectives? Will they be calling witnesses? We don't know anything. But in a slapdash, knee-jerk reaction, in order to try and, how shall we put it, regain public confidence, the ministry has come up with this so-called secret committee. I think this is just another attempt to try and put a handy plus and try and repair the damage to the reputation of the health ministry following Kugans' case. I will not go in depth on the 2 post-mortem reports. We have done that before already. But let's for a minute pause and think about what the DG said earlier when he said that the first report was done fine and that the first and second report are more or less the same. He claimed this. Let's just pause for a minute and look at what he's talking about and whether he knows what he's talking about. Because if you look at the second report, just one example, very clear here. He says the spleen is normal, the first report. The second report clearly says that the spleen had large areas of hemorrhage. Okay? And not only that, in the second report, the doctor has actually taken photographs. Okay? Now remember, the first report, they say that the spleen is normal. The second report, the doctor has not only said in his report that there are large areas of hemorrhage, bleeding in the spleen, but he has given the scientific photographic evidence. Look at all the internal bleeding areas here. Now, my question is simple. How can the first post-mortem report say that this broken up, bleeding spleen is normal? And this is an important issue in Kugans' case, because why does the spleen hemorrhage? Because somebody whacked the person. Spleen of healthy person will only hemorrhage if there is some beatings so severe until the spleen hemorrhages. So this is just one example of the inconsistency between the first report and the second report. And furthermore, in the first report, in the second report, Dr. Prashant has listed out a whole list of internal muscular injuries. Okay, there's a whole list of it. 54 right up to number 70. Hemorrhage, 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 severe hemorrhage, severe hemorrhage, severe hemorrhage, severe hemorrhage. The whole muscular structure of Kugan has hemorrhage. That means the beatings were so severe that his muscles bled everywhere. Okay? You look, having said that, you look at the first post-mortem report, not even one item of muscular hemorrhage was itemized in the first post-mortem report. Can you imagine that? Not a single item of muscular hemorrhage. You've all got copies of it. It's also on the net. Go and read it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. How is it that the post-mortem report in a death in custody case is done by Serdang Hospital without itemizing a single hemorrhage in the muscles? And link it with something else. Dr. Prashant makes the conclusion. This boy died from kidney failure due to beatings on the muscle. Then he itemizes all the muscle areas that bled. The first post-mortem report says water in the lungs. Doesn't make a conclusion that says that the boy was badly beaten, that's why he died. How can he? His post-mortem report doesn't even list out any muscular bleeding.
Oh, I think the minister, I think the lawyer have written a letter, appointment. Saya tak nak besok nanti dia bagi tahu, kita ceroboh lagi sekali di sini lah. Jumpa Encik Permal tadi. Dan kedua, we want an independent body lah. Macam peguam bagi tahu, kita nak independent body. And the board sekarang, dalam board MMC, board ini DG Ismail American, dia duduk dalam board. Kita tamu dia, pasal dia dah bagi keluarkan kenyataan, banyak bercanggah kenyataan beliau. Dan juga we want a independent body and bagi tahu dengan public, this is a public interest issue, and bagi tahu nama siapa yang board, who is the person who's going to investigate, sit on this board. Let us know. We want a real independent body to investigate this Kugan case.